Let's start the session. So it's my absolute pleasure to extend a warm welcome to all of our participants on this day 5th of 2 week short-term training program on AI ML coding using generative AI, which is powered by Indian Science Technology and Engineering Facilities MAP. So this program is being conducted from 24th March to 4th April. We are delighted to have you all on this exciting learning journey. So let's recap yesterday's session. It was about linear regression using generative AI. So today we are going to dive deeper into advanced facts using generative AI. Before we begin, here are some important guidelines to ensure a smooth and effective session. So while joining, please share your name and affiliation in a live chat. Use a laptop for better learning experience, especially during hands-on activities with our experts. Filling up the feedback form during each session is compulsory. The form will be shared in a YouTube chat box. So let me take a moment to introduce Academy InnovaWorld. Our Academy InnovaWorld is dedicated to fostering interdisciplinary learning and research through advanced training programs, workshops, and industry collaborations. Our mission is to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and a practical implementation, empowering learners to excel in emerging technological domains. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed guest for today's session, Dr. Arunava Majumdar. We are grateful for his presence and look forward to his valuable insights as he takes over today's session. Wishing you all a great learning experience. With that, let us move ahead with today's session. I hope all of you have a productive and enriching learning experience. Over to Dr. Majumdar, sir. Please, sir.
Good evening, all. Welcome again for in the day 5 of our learning journey to the generative AI means the using of generative AI for different ML and AI techniques. So far we have learned about the linear regressions, and we basically in the past few days we worked on the regression, purpose of regression, and our data set. We have chosen the data set based on the continuous data sets. Okay, so something we need to learn again means apart from the journey of means linear regression only, we also need to means know about how the dataset can be visualized. Okay, how you can I mean, so some codes are there which is very basic codes, which codes are used to visualize the data, and what are the features, and how many samples are there in the data set. So how can you means find that one? So to find this one, we need to go for the again we need to go to the chat gpt, and I today I will means use the I will use the same some of the previously generated excel codes, sorry, excel files, for generated excel files. And let me see the show you the excel file first. Is my screen visible? Okay, let us suppose this is the data set, and I'm going to just. So if I look at the data set, you can see that consumer ID, name, age, gender, email, and purchase amount. Okay, and the purchase frequency means how many times the customer purchased any particular product, and the loyalty program member, or when means any membership has been subscribed by the customer or not. This kind of things are given in the data set. Let us suppose that I want to see that whether this data set means how many columns are there, each and every columns, how many data are present. Okay, if there is any kind of missing values or not, this kind of things if I want to see, then what type of means code we need to generate. This is a very some simple kind of functions are there just to show the data set, the first five rows of the data set. Like we can visualize the information of the data set, how many columns are there, what are the names of the columns, each columns, how many columns is having how many samples. Okay, so that things we can visualize by using very simple kind of functions. So that functions we need to know first. So again, if you are very layman, it means that you don't know anything. So in Python coding or something, you just go to the Chat GPT now and you just ask Chat GPT that generate a code for okay, to show the um, details information of the um, uploaded Excel file. Okay, I have by mistake I have just here an error occurred because the generate spelling was mistake there, but it can still generate some coding. Okay, now you can look at this coding has been generated, okay, using a function. Okay, so the function is defined as main function, and it the entire coding is written in a function form. But I don't need this one because I am just going to. This is a very simple thing, simple type of job which I need to do. So that is why I don't need any function to. Don't need to create any function for that. Okay, so I will and just use a script. I think my computer is do this without function definition. Okay, so here it's also showing something else means which I don't require. So let's mm, use a already defined file. Okay, let me show you. Go to the correlation. It means this file already I have used this one. Let me show you this one. Okay. Look, this one is a Python file. Okay, and I am not going to generate it from the ChatGPT because what a very simple thing actually I need to generate. But ChatGPT is generating the same file actually we can see, but it is generating something else by using uploading Python or something. I think it doesn't understand the prompt which I want here. It is a very simple prompt which I want to generate. So that is why I need to show you how to include, first of all, how to include an Excel file or CSV file, okay, in Python. Okay, so you need to provide three means generally basic. If you want pandas, okay, we need pandas. If you want, you can also include the NumPy. Let me include the NumPy also. Sorry. Okay, I'm including as a NumPy also. Seaborn you may or may not include because Seaborn is basically used in some particular statistical cases. Let us suppose we can generate the heat map of correlation matrix, then we can use Seaborn. But basic three, pandas, NumPy, matplotlib. Matplotlib also, if you want to plot something, then also then only you can do. Otherwise, only pandas or NumPy it can solve your purpose. Okay, now we need to first how to load an Excel file in your Python. It also required if you are using different means interface. I am using VS Code, so that is why I have to write it like this. Okay, so I am showing it like this. Suppose first I let us suppose this one. Okay, after when you want to load an Excel file or a CSV file in your data set in the Python, just you first need to create a variable. File name is a variable where you want to store your data. Okay, after storing your data, okay, let us see. Use you can see this is the path in your computer where the data is stored. Let us suppose I want to store some different data here. Suppose this data set. Okay, this data set I just need to copy the file path. Okay, you just right click on this Excel file. After right click, first you need to know whether this dataset is Excel dataset or CSV. Whether it is type is it is shown as Microsoft Excel worksheet. Okay, so Microsoft Excel. Now you need to copy the path. You can just right click on this dataset and you can see here copy as path. You just need to click on copy as path and then you go to your interface. Okay, and just you need to copy here and paste here. Okay, you can see this after pasting automatically the double inverted comma will be included here. Okay, so file path equal to R, means C R. Why are you using R? Using R, if you're using this VS Code, then R is needed. Sometimes in other platform, R may not be needed also. Okay, so this is the it is a syntax. Okay, R is a means after putting this R, then you can paste the copy and paste the file path which you already have copied from the dataset. Okay, now we just copy the path here and that's all. After pasting the path, automatically it should, yes, it should be inside a double inverted comma, but double inverted comma automatically it will be taken. After then you need to create another means I have created. It is another variable here, named as df, and I call read Excel function. Now, read Excel is a function which can read the dataset from the Excel which you have uploaded. Okay, so read Excel. If it is CSV file, then you need to write here read CSV, read underscore CSV. But since the file is XLSX, so that is why I need to write here read underscore Excel. And then I call the file path because this file is stored in file path. So that is why I need to copy here. Yes, you can directly put it here also. Sometimes it may not work. So that is why it differs from platform to platform. So I would like to write it like this. Okay, I already means stored it in another variable, which variable I just need to call here. So that is why it is my style to writing. it will means it shows much more clarity. So that is why I read it like this. You can directly copy and paste it here also. Next, how can you show display? We can see that display the first few rows of the data frame. Okay, after read Excel, now let us see that print print Okay, now let us run the program. Okay, first I need to save the program. Yeah, look. Now, after PD means, look at this. Now I need to explain the codes here. Read Excel is a function, and which is inside the library PD, included in PD library. Now, read Excel, it creates a data frame. Okay, there is a difference between array and data frame. Okay, so data frame, it is exactly as a layman, I means need to say like this. That's just as you see the data set in Excel. You can see the data set in Excel. It looks like this. I think maybe this is not like this. It is customer data. I need which data? Yes, logistic regression data. Let me show you the data here. Yes, this is the data set. You can see the data set here. Age, salary, previous purchases by. This is the Excel data set. Okay, so exactly similar to this, your data will be visible if you write read Excel command. So read Excel function, it will create a data frame exactly like the Excel file. As it is visible in Excel file, exactly it is visible in here also. Okay, so and head is another function which is also inside this pandas. Okay, so that is why I need to get df dot head. So df means look at this pd dot read Excel. So this data frame read Excel, after creating the data frame, I have stored the data frame in df. So that is why now you need to call the head function under this df. So df dot head. So head means first few rows will be displayed only. So you can see the first few rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 rows will be displayed. So this is 5 rows, it will be displayed. Okay, but this is only gives you now how many, what are the names of the columns, and the first few rows of only there. But now I suppose I need to know each and every row, how many samples are there, how many data is there, number of data and everything. Okay, what are the type of data, whether it is categorical or whether it is integer or something else. So how can you know this? There is another command which is called info. Okay, so print if I the same thing df dot info, and now if I run this. Yes. Now look at this. If I write info, then it will give you. So this is the, look at this output. If I write info, it will give you the column names also, age, salary, previous purchases, and buy, as well as how many non-null columns are there. That all will also be displayed. If it is null column is there, also it will be displayed. Means non-null column, look at this, every 100, each and every column, it is 100, 100 and 100. Number of samples are there. Age is also having age is having 100 data, salary is also having 100, previous purchases also having 100, each and everything is 100. Okay, these hundreds are non-null count. Okay, if any data set is having less than 100, then there must be some null data or null values will be there. The cells which are some empty, okay, empty cells. So then we say that this is non-null. Now what is the data type? You can see the age is having integer type of data type. Salary is having also integer type of data type. Previous purchases, it is also integer. But buy, it is object means yes, no, or something, some kind of strings are there. Okay, so you can see from here also, age, salary, purchases, buy, and everything you can see. Okay, so this is the some basic commands which was remaining in the last class, so last session. So that is why I think also in the last session I didn't give you the idea how to include any your Excel file in the Python. Okay, I have only used some generated data. Okay, so this is a way you can use your Excel file, predefined Excel file or pre-generated Excel file, or the Excel or the data set which you have collected from somewhere else. Okay, just like this, you can include the data set in the Python, and then you, this is the very basic things are there. Okay. Now I need to give you. Now let us suppose that your means Python, sorry, Chat GPT, it's not giving the proper answer or something. You can change your your prompt, okay, by using this particular. You just copy and paste this particular simple program here. What you have created like this, okay, just you use this one. Okay, I have copied only after uploading this particular data set in the Python. Okay, and just creating the data frame as a df. Now I copy this one, this code, very simple code, just after uploading it, and I paste it here. I paste it here. And now I ask, okay, now I ask that mm, use mm, sorry, generate, sorry, it is just wait. Generate the generate code for correlation heat map, correlation heat map, comma, uh, correlation heat map between, okay, how many columns are there? Let us suppose I want to generate the correlation heat map. I already have explained what correlation heat map is. Now since now we know what kind of data set is, and I want to use suppose the age, non-null integer, salary, previous buys, because buy column, you can see the buy column, it is an object. Okay, if it is an object, then we need to encode it as a number with some numbers. Otherwise it will not be means the code will give it will give you the wrong answer, because without encoding any object type of data, okay, without encoding with a number, we cannot proceed. Okay, so because the every algorithms and everything that works on the numbering value or the numeric values only. So let us suppose that I want to generate the correlation matrix between these three columns: age, salary, and the previous purchases. Okay, so let us use only this prompt. Generate the code for correlation heat map between age, comma, you can just copy and paste from here, salary, salary, and the last one is previous purchase. and that's all. Okay, now it's generated. Now I just copy this one. I'm going to this one, and I am replacing the entire program of mine with the code generated by the ChatGPT. Okay, let us understand the code first. Okay, in DF up to this pd.readexcel we have done. Okay, it makes a data frame now. Now I have created another variable which is called the selected columns, where I have um, I have included these three columns: age, salary, and previous purchases. Because as we know that, yes, as we know that these three columns are already there inside the dataset, so I have given it like that. Okay, now df selected equal to df selected columns. Now I this is a columns. Now these three columns, I have merged these three columns with the as a selected columns name. The selected column is another variable where I have included these three columns separately. Okay, as a so it creates a another means set now, and I have used this set selected columns again in this df, that is in this data frame. Okay, now I have created means correlation matrix. I have created another variable where this df selected dot co means it will now generate a correlation matrix. So correlation matrix, each and every variables. So it will give you the relation between age salary, age previous purchase, salary previous purchase. These three relations means correlation coefficient values. It will now show you. Okay, now I need to only plot the correlation matrix now. So heat map now. So I have created this that means again matplotlib. Okay, and correlation heat map. Okay, so this heat map, it is this heat map command. It is included in Seaborn library. So that is why I need to use the Seaborn library here. Okay, and then plot. So now let us run this command and let's see what will happen. Yes, it is created. Now see that age and age, of course, it is one. Salary, salary, of course, it is one. Okay, this is some drawbacks in my computer. I don't know what happens, but if you run, maybe in your computer, each and every values will be visible there. Okay, in my computer, something I don't know any when something is happening. So that is why only the first rows it is giving the value. The rest of the other boxes, they're not giving any correlation values here. But as you see here, the correlation values the of this age and salary. What is the correlation value? 0.20. Age and previous purchases. What is the correlation value? Minus 0.03. Okay, so since this matrix is symmetric matrix, so this value and this value, let me give you this one. Okay, this value and this value, these two values are equal. Okay, these values and this value is these two values are equal. This and these two values are equal. Okay, there must be, since the values are not visible here in my computer, so that is why it is not. So this is how you can generate a you can write a very simple code, and you copy your code into the chat gpt, and then you modify according to yourself. Just you put the prompt that generate the code for correlation heat map, generate the code for this, okay, generate the code for this according to this. So it will automatically generate one by one. You don't need to write the code here. Yes, some basic things you must learn about it. Let us suppose you want to change the figure size. Okay, you can change the figure size from here. No need to go to the means this one in chat gpt and again you copy that, change the figure size. No, it is not like. Figure size is written here, you can see 8,6 width and everything is written. If you change it, that figure size will also be changed. If you want to change the means how many, you can this 2.2f. 0.2f means the correlation values after two decimal only up to two decimal places it will be displayed. Okay, if you want to find it is only 0.1f, so let's see what will change. Look at this. Previously it was two decimal places it was displayed, but now only one decimal places it is displayed. Okay, so like this you can modify your code by using here. Now line width is 0.5. So line width means here each and every the line between each and every boxes. If you want to increase this line width you can use, but the boxes line width if it is increased it looks some odd. So that is why 0.5 it is better. Okay, now if you want to change the title correlation heat map, so correlation, if you want to change the title correlation heat map of these and these and these variable, okay, you can change it from here also. So these modifications you can do. Now if you want to add some other let's suppose some other columns, okay, you just change the name of the column here. Okay, or you can add the column name here. If automatically it will be changed, the code will be changed, and your but the basic frame of the code will be here. Now you can modify according to you. I think you can get it now. Okay, now another, now if suppose you want to means add the um, scatter plot, between age, salary, and age and previous purchases. That's that two only. Okay, no need to, you just want to draw any two scatter plots between age and salary and age and previous purchases. Okay, just you write the code like this: add scatter plots between age, okay, age comma salary. Okay, just make this more: age, salary, and age, previous purchase. Now previous purchase, no need to write it, just you copy and paste it from here. Previous purchase. Okay, just you put it here. Okay, I think today the ChatGPT is having some problem. Again it is. Okay, let me copy. Okay, if your ChatGPT today it is something, I don't know what is happening. Let's go to DeepSeek. Let's see how it works. I'm copying and pasting the previous code. Okay, and I am writing generate, okay, add code for scatter plot for age salary, just to copy and paste it here. Age salary and age previous purchases. Okay, let's see. Okay, yes, it adds now. Okay, now I am just copying this one and I will add the code here at the end of this one. Let's see whether it can create the scatter plot or not. Yes, first it creates the correlation heat map. As already I have added the correlation heat map. Now I'm removing the code. Yes, now look at this. Both are created here. Okay, so salary age and previous purchases and age. So basic code, if you write just the code for uploading the data, then you just add the prompt, just you use different prompt, add this one, whatever you want to add. So it will create it will means start creating accordingly. Okay, so once the code is generated, you just copy and paste the code with your previous program, and everything will be you can obtain like this. Okay, one by one. So you can see each and every points are scatter plot is here. Now I'm going to end it. Now look at this, how the scatter plot now here, it is called the subplot. Means two plots are created in single figure, so it is called a called subplot. Okay, now subplot, to use the subplot, you can see they have used the subplot command here. Here also there's another subplot command. Okay, so if you don't want to create as a subplot, if you want to create that two plots will be differently, should differently be created, just you can modify the prompt in the means DeepSeek, that make this means create the code or generate the code without using the subplot. So it will generate the code without using subplot. You just copy and paste the code here, and you can generate as much as means what you want, like that, right? So if one platform is not working, you can go to the another platform, DeepSeek. Another platform is also there, Gemini. You can also use that one. Okay. Now let's go to the classification part today. I because now in regression part, I already have given you the example for linear regression. Okay, multilinear regression also I have given you that one. Okay, let's go to, yes, the last one, the last part, multilinear regression. For the same data set, let us suppose that I am going to create the multilinear regression. I will add the code here. Okay, okay, here each and every means steps are explained here. Create a figure with two subplots side by side. The first scatter plot shows which what it shows. Okay, what the tight layout command actually means, it ensures the proper spacing between the subplots. Okay, so these things, each and every steps also it is explained. It is also explained by the ChatGPT also. Okay, now let's add some to the linear regression. Okay, linear regression. Okay, add code for linear. Okay, modify. Let's do not add code, because in linear regression you can see we have only used pandas, numpy, seaborn, and matplotlib.pyplot. Okay, so these things. Okay, for linear regression we use another library there. Okay, so that is why if you just write here, if you use the prompt that add code, it will just add code after your program. Okay, it will not automatically created the means your library. Okay, sometimes ChatGPT can create. Okay, but sometimes the DeepSeek may not create. Okay, so that is why you can use the prompt as modify the code with linear regression. Okay, with okay, now in linear regression you of course need to define which one are independent variables and which one is dependent variable, right? So here you can see how many we have used as. Let us go to the data set first. See your data set. Your data set has four columns: age, salary, previous purchases, and buy. Okay, age, salary, and previous purchases, they are integer type of variable, non-null, and you can see that these are numeric values. But if you say buy is non-null, but it is object, and what kind of object it is? Okay, you can see the object is yes no type of object. You can see here yes no yes no yes no yes no like this. Okay, so if it is yes no type of object, then it is a classification problem. Okay, it is a category. Okay, so purchase by, that is the last column, by column is categorical type column, and only two categories are there, yes and no, binary categories are there. So that is why regression, if you want to use regression, that may not work properly, and that will actually not work properly. It will not give you the proper model for that. So you need to use the classification model. The classification model, the most means, if you we are now talking about the statistical core statistical part only, linear regression, okay, and non-linear regression like this. So that is why in this case, if your outcome variable, if you suppose the buy as a outcome or target variable, that is your output variable, then it is a categorical value yes or no, and your problem it transfers to um, the categorical problem, and it is a classification problem, not regression. Okay, now in the previous three cases, age, salary, and previous purchases, in these three cases, any two of them, so I am removing the buy column here, not removing, I don't consider them. Okay, I am just considering the age, salary, and previous purchases. So let us suppose age and salary, these two are input, and the previous purchases, this is the output. Just let us suppose. Okay, so let's see. No, in this case, we need to mention it like that in DeepSeek. So modify the code with linear regression. Okay, modify the code with linear regression with age and salary as independent variables and previous purchases as dependent variable. Let's see how it can generate. Yes. Okay. it is going to it is now still now generating. So let me uh, use this program now you can see what are the different libraries now it generates. Previously we have added pandas was there, numpy was there, seaborn was there, matplotlib was there. Now new library it is added like sklearn, linear model, import linear regression. So linear regression function we need now. So for that one, we need to use that library. And which library? Sklearn. Sklearn dot linear model. Okay. Now to visualize the accuracy or how the model fits, what are the metrics we need? We need R square score, R square value. So R2 score, mean squared error, and this is defined in sklearn matrices or metrics. Okay, so these two libraries it now it has been added here. As I already told you that use we don't use the add command here, means a add prompt. If you use add prompt, add the code with linear for linear regression, then it will just add code, but it will not modify the previously means which what are the new libraries should be added here to run the linear regression. If you don't write it and if you just copy and pasted the code, then it will give you the error. Okay, now let's see. So what we need, we just copy and paste this one now. Now see that. Look, I still didn't add the means here the extra libraries. If you don't add extra libraries, then what will happen? Let's see. Just I run the code. Okay, I have pasted. I have used all the functions: linear regression function, mean squared error, R2, every functions I have means written here, but I did not use the library. So what will happen? Look, the name error name linear regression is not defined. So whenever you see this kind of means message, linear regression says something is not defined. Not defined means there must be some library which is not added. You have used something and you didn't call the proper library where this particular function is defined. Now I am going to define the library now. So let's go here and let's copy these two extra libraries here. Yes. Look, after putting the libraries here, all the underlines it has been gone now. Look, everything is gone. Now it looks like yes, no other these things are there. So now everything has been written as previously. So you can see here. Okay, just I also draw the scatter plots also everything. Let's run the code. Look, here linear regression it may visualize something different. Look, here R square value and everything it is shown here as we see. Okay, let's linear regression coefficients. So intercept, age coefficient, and this. So what does it mean? So it means that now what we are actually going to predict, we are going to predict the y values, and these are the previous purchases. Okay, means how many previous purchases is there. So let me define this one. This is the model it creates. Okay, let me copy and paste the linear regression coefficients here, control C, and let's go to here. Okay, these are the coefficients, regression coefficients, intercepts, and the other values. So y equal to our model is now intercept is 5.35, so 5.35 plus 0.0023 x x1 plus sorry minus 0.0023 x2. So 0 0 0 0 almost it is 0. Okay, so what is x1 and x2? X1 and x2, okay, as you see here, go to your code. So first variable in x is age, second variable it is salary. So it means that x1 it defines age and this is salary. Okay, so this is our model now. Okay, it's 5.35 into this. Now suppose who's some person whose age is suppose 5 years and whose salary is 2000. 5 years is whose age is 25 years. 20 years 5 years, salary is 2000. Then what should be the number of purchase there? This is the number of purchase, 5.35 plus uh, 0.0023 into 25 plus 0.0000 into 2000, it means it is almost 0. So it means it should be 25 into this plus 5.33, whatever the values you can get, this will be your prediction. Okay, but one thing you can see, look at this curve. So what is the, but is it accurate? How accuracy it is? You can see the curve, the straight line, it is never followed the line here because our outcome variable, it is categorical here. Our outcome variable basically it is categorical. So our number of production, it is entirely categorical, and zeros, how many zeros are there? Means 0 means it is a no previous purchase. 1 means these are the numbers of one previous purchase. Okay, this is the number of two previous purchases. These 3 previous purchases, 4 previous purchases. So it's short. Also, you can say this is a categorical, not a continuous value, no floating point and no other. Okay, so some categories exist there. So if it is categorical, so you can see the line regression will not be fitted. So that is why the straight line, it is like this and the points are like this. No, it is not the best fit line, you can see. So it means that regression will not work here. Okay, so look, as I told you that we'll be getting something new here. Why it is new? Because you can see it is a 3D. Why it is 3D? Because we used age and salary, two variables. And what is our the vertical? You can see vertical column. The vertically, it is the y means number of purchase. Look at the points and look at this plane. This plane, it is the fitting plane. But what are the points? Even the points, can you tell, means is it the best fit line according to this point? You can see I am means rotating this one. You can see in any direction you cannot say that this plane it fits, it should be the best fit for these points. Okay, so that is why you can easily say this is not a best fit, linear regression doesn't work here. And it is also validated through these values. See, what is the r square value? 0.0343, almost equal to 0. Mean square error 7.2946. So 7.2946, it is a high value for your, means whatever your data set is, according to your data set. You can see the data set here. Yeah, look at the previous purchase values. The highest value you can see 8. Okay, highest value is 8, lowest value is 0. Okay, you can see the highest value is, lowest value is 0. So in this 8 is the highest value and 7.29 is the mean square error. It is a very high mean square error. It means points are very away from the fitting line or fitting curve. Okay, so in this case we need to use the logistic regression, that is some classification method, and the classification method, it is called logistic regression. Logistic regression, this is a Generally, we use this in ML or AI also, but basically this method is a purely statistical method. Okay, and we use a function here, and this function, it maps a probability. We know that probability, it lies between 0 and 1. Okay, 0 and 1. So here also we use the same function, means first we need to use, okay, this linear formation. Okay, after this linear formation, we need to pass the value, whatever the outcome of this linear formation, we need to pass the value in another function. And that function, it maps only 0 and 1. Okay, your curve will be, I'm not going to write down the function here. Okay, curve will be like this. If this is your curve, negative section probability is not negative. Okay, it will be looking like this. Exactly, this curve, this type of, means 0 and 1 only, like this. Okay, either it may means fits the 0 values, or it may go to the 1 values, means for 0 1 fitting, I'm not going to, means I cannot clearly make you understand what I'm going to tell, because uh, it is a mathematical method, without using, means without explaining much more mathematics, because something we need to explain here, what kind of function is this, what is the actual graph of the function, I cannot make you understand. So that is why, and today time is less, so I'm going to generate the code here. Okay, how? By using, just I am using here, use modify the above using logistic regression for classification. Okay, using, now I use the entire data set. Okay, three variables, age, salary, and previous purchase, as dependent variables, independent variables, and by as you can see this data set, age, salary, previous purchase, these three I am using now for independent, and by for dependent variable. Okay, so let's go to the DeepSeek again. So modify the above code using logistic regression for classification using mm, age, is it, salary, previous purchase as independent variable, and okay, what is this, by as dependent variable. Okay, now Look, this code is generated. Now for classification purpose, the matrix is different for classification. For classification, the matrix, that is how the model fits or not, means how the model fits. We need to use some different metrics like confusion matrix. Classification report means inside this classification report, it is ROC, AUC score, ROC curve we should add here. Okay. What confusion matrix is, what ROC, AUC score, what is classification report, F1 score, and everything I will explain later next day. But let us see that how this code runs, whether this code will run or not. Okay. Let's see, let's copy this. Let's first try this code, whether it will run or not. Okay. We have copied this one. Okay. Now let's first clear this. Yeah. Now it runs. Okay. This is a confusion matrix. Okay, so this confusion matrix, it also creating the same issue, means the next our means this one, these values are not visible here, I don't know why. Okay. Okay, classification report, it also, but it will not show you, there is a value error. I already told you that there should be some values, because why? Yes, this is the value error. What is the value error? Y true takes values n y. Okay, we did not encode, because look at this data set. The data set is using y and y and this. I already told you I need to until and unless we need to encode this by using some numeric values, it will not work. The same thing is happening here also. Okay, so that is why it is giving the some typical type of means outcome. That outcome is not at all true actually. So we need to encode these yn values. If apart from this yn, if some other means names are also there, there is two categories y and n, there may be three categories, maybe four categories are there. Okay, so you need to, either there are two ways you can do this. You in this excel file, you can do it by using any type of formula, like is equal to if, okay, this, sorry, equal to if, okay, this column, okay, equal to 1, then you need to put here yes, sorry, this yes is equal to y. Okay, then you need to put 1, otherwise 0. Okay, you can use this one. You can see one is created and you just double click on it, and each and every y and n will be encoded like this 0 and 1. Okay, otherwise you can use another thing. Let me delete this one. In this Python only, you can use label encoder. Okay, the label encoder, it will create the categorical values, like this string type or this object type values. It encodes automatically. Okay, so I am using here another prompt for this: use or encode the binary column by, and update the code. Yes, you can see it creates label encoder. So this is this label encoder. It is included in another library, sklearn pre-processing. Okay, pre-processing. So you need to use this one here, pre-processing, sklearn pre-processing. So now again the code is it is going to be modified. So after modifying this code, I will use this one. Okay, it is modified now. Just I'm copying this one and I'm going to paste it here. Now let's see whether it will run or not. Yes. Yeah. Now look at this. Everything it is this is the ROC curve. It is generated now. If I cross it, okay, this is the called feature importance. So what feature importance is, what ROC curve is, everything I will explain later. Okay. Now the code run stops and let me show you the data here. Sorry, show you this one. So what is the logistic regression? So it is now it is encoded as n and y as 0 1. Okay, so logistic regression coefficient, this is the model here. Okay, this is the intercept. So every value is 0 0 values, intercept everything. Okay, this is actually since it is a logistic regression. Okay, I already told you that first it creates a linear equation, then the values of the linear equation, okay, after prediction, the prediction values, predicted values, it will pass through another equation when the exponential equation is there, inverse exponential. So that will create as a that values or transform that value as a probability 0 and 1 only. Then only we can check that one. Now this is the classification report. Here you can see what is precision recall, F1 score, and everything is written here. Okay, what is AVC AUC score, it is also written here. So now we can see the AUC graph, everything. I'm not going to explain everything now because time is already running out, but the code runs properly. Yes, this is the confusion matrix, and this is the AVC or ROC curve. This is the baseline, that is, it means this is the mean line, and this is the curve. And sometimes it is a negative. I don't know why it is negative. It's like this. Yes. So if it is classification, you need to generate the ROC. There are many other classification in ML algorithms are there. Decision tree, random forest. Okay, we will explain one by one later. Okay, so that's all for today. Anybody has any doubt or any question, please ask.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. We have dropped a question that let's wait for a couple of minutes so that we can find is there any doubt or not in the chat box. Um, so meanwhile, thank you so much, sir. Without bothering the time, we have carried forwarded and completed our complete topic. And so just let's wait for a couple of minutes to find out whether we
Okay,
have any question or not in the chat box.
okay,
And feedback link is also live in the chat box. So okay, so I think the participants are doing the code, and as of now they don't have doubt. So maybe we will provide an assignment question so that we can check the assessment, right, sir? So we will know
yeah,
that
sure.
what are the outcomes and the things they are getting up, and we can clarify the same, right? So thank you
Yes,
so much, sir. I think we don't have any question, and so tomorrow we'll continue the same time, sir, 7:30.
sure, sure.
Right. Okay. So thank you everyone,
Okay,
and thank you
yes,
so
thank
much,
you very
sir.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So as you know, the feedback link is live. So before you leave the session, make sure of that you fill up the feedback form before you leave the session. Thank you so much, and thank you once again. See you tomorrow, same time. Good night.